We're talking Philly sports.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
And New York sports.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
And the unique history and relationship between the two cities. With Mike Carr.
You're so money and you don't even know it.
And Adam Turkel.
I agree. Nobody's madder about than I am. They're going to say that, and I'm going to look at them and say, hi, you're right.
This is the Battle for I-95 podcast, starting now.
All right, welcome to the Battle for I-95 podcast. This is episode number 7. It is brought to you by Easy Moving. Easy Moving. Moving is difficult enough. Do it the easy way. Servicing Fairfield, Connecticut, and removal in New York. And I am Adam Turkel, and my partner, wearing that ugly, disgusting red abomination on his chest, is Mr. Mike Carr. What's up, Mike?
Same shit, different day, man. You know, Phillies are still in first place. We mushed yet another sport, and TikTok still fucking sucks. So
We'll get to that after, but we'll start with the obvious story of the day, with today being the day after the NHL finals coming to a close. And I'll tell you what, last time we spoke, it was 3-1. Edmonton had just put up an 8 spot. I really thought Florida was going to go home and close out in game 5, but Edmonton said, not so fast.
Nope.
They put up 5 and then 5 again, right? So they had 18 goals in 3 games.
Yep.
And then game 7 was back to Florida, and Florida takes the 2-1 lead, and Edmonton spends the whole third period in Florida's half. Florida blocked so many shots, there must be bruises all over every player on that team. The goalie was good when he had to be. And Bobrovsky was good when he had to be.
Bobrovsky should have won the Conn Smythe. Well, I know we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
But I'm already a little we'll get into that.
Okay. Well, Bobrovsky did play well, and in the end, Florida, who did beat the Rangers, ends up beating Edmonton and stops something that would have been historical. There have been 3-0 comebacks before, but this would have been the first one in the finals. And
since Toronto. And
Toronto did it back in the 50s or something, didn't they?
50s or
years
60s.
ago.
Yeah.
So this would have been the first one, and you're talking 70 years, 75 years, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And they stop it from happening, and they ultimately win the cup. And now we are in the winter sports off-season. Let's get into the MVP, the Conn Smythe Trophy. For the first time in 50 years, since the 70s, it went to a player on the losing team, that being Connor McDavid. McDavid was good.
He was very good.
He's the only reason they came back.
He was the reason why they came back, and he was my pick in the beginning of the series to win the Conn Smythe because I thought that Edmonton would come out on top. I understand, a lot of the reason why hockey games get lost is because of defense and goalies.
Oh, no.
But
we suck again.
That's what happens.
Bobrovsky was standing on his head the last game.
I was more impressed actually with Florida's defense.
They were
The
very
blocked
good
shots.
Too.
They couldn't get it out of their end, but their bodies were dropping all over the ice, stopping shots, blocking shots before it even got to Bobrovsky.
Right.
So,
But one goal. Listen, that one goal let up in Game 7. I mean,
that's
he
it.
showed up.
That's what it
showed
takes.
up.
If the Rangers had won the cup, it would have been because Igor did something similar. That's the way it goes down. It's the goalie. It comes down to the goalie.
So I firmly believe that Bobrovsky should have won.
Well, I don't think I don't think Connor McDavid was a bad choice. I think he could have went to either, because again, that series is nowhere near 7 games without Connor McDavid.
Exactly.
He laid a little bit of an egg in Game 7. He only had 3 shots on goal, but I think a lot of that was really due to good Florida defense. They were actually doing something you don't see much in hockey. They were doubling and tripling him. And you don't see that in hockey. It's not basketball, bro. You don't see that shit. But they were doing it, and it was effective, and they figured we're going to let someone else beat us. It's not going to be Connor McDavid, and lo and behold, that's what you get. So we move on from that. The winter sports are now officially over. Done.
Good riddance.
No New York championship again.
Thank God. Thank God.
No Philly championship again.
Yeah, but
And
that's
we'll just have to see which one of us will break through first. I mean, both cities. Listen, you're not in the slump that we're in, right?
No.
But every other sport, take away the Eagles won Super Bowl. Now you're going all the way back to 2008, last time the Phillies won. So it's been a minute for your city too, other than the one Eagles Super Bowl. It's been a minute.
Appearance? Oh, I guess you had the
No,
the
fuck
cup
appearance. Fuck appearance. I don't want to hear that bullshit. You know what happens in appearances?
Oh, no! We suck again!
You lose. Yeah, you suck
I hear
again.
you. I hear you. I'm just saying,
so get there and win it, and that hasn't happened. And now we move on to what we both have a chance at, and we hope can happen. And as we're going to do that, we're going to end a little early today. I feel like hearing some bad gambling advice because I need some money, so I need to bet against Frankie.
Yeah.
Because, he gives out bets. The reaction is, that's the reaction. It's like, wow, how the hell is he picking that? And without further ado, we're going to add Frankie Ravioli to the stage to join the show. Welcome back, Frankie.
Good afternoon, fellas.
Hey, Frankie.
How you guys doing?
We're doing good. We just wrapped up the NHL. We talked about the McDavid getting the Conn Smythe instead of Bobrovsky. And, obviously Edmonton was trying to pull off something that hadn't been done in like 75 years and didn't pull it off. And Florida holds strong. And, did you pick Edmonton this series, Frank?
I recall. Yeah, I did take Edmonton.
You did.
I think I'm now 1-14 about on the podcast.
So once again, if you picked against Frankie Ravioli, you won some money.
What did you pick that was right?
Yeah.
The only bet I got right was Edmonton against whoever they played last round. But they played last round.
Yeah.
Dallas against Dallas Stars.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go with the bad bets. All right.
I think I need some practice. That's what I think.
Go
to Parks
you
tonight.
Still haven't got it right.
No, and I must be sleeping with Mr. Parks' wife because they're treating me like shit lately.
Wow.
And they're like, "Fuck you, you ain't winning shit." I'm like, okay.
Well, story of Frank's life. Here we go. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll do it since I hit the sound bite.
But watching that last 10 minutes of that game was crazy last night.
It was.
I mean, that one possession where they did the one-timer, and then all of a sudden it was like all in front of the net, and then the puck wound up going in the net like 10, 15 seconds later.
I say this all the time. I am a humongous football fan. That's my top sport. There is nothing like hockey playoffs.
Nothing.
And Game 7.
Hockey playoffs, Game 7s are the most exciting event of any sporting Game 7 that you can get, or any final game you can get. I mean, did you see how many minutes those guys on Edmonton were putting in the third period?
You saw the last minute?
They ran 2 lines.
The last minute of that game, they were just like, end the game, blow the whistle.
They looked exhausted. They were
done.
But, Edmonton, I really thought Edmonton was going to tie the game. With all the pressure they were putting on Florida and Bobrovsky, I was like, one, he's going to get through. It's got one, he's going to get through. And if it gets through, I would have felt like Edmonton was going to win in overtime. But didn't happen, So I picked Florida. I'm right. You're wrong. Turkstradamus once again strikes, even though I didn't get the Game 5 right. But what are you going to do? I digress.
Well, it turned out to be a great series, though.
Yeah, it's better than the NBA Finals.
Oof.
Yeah.
And better than last year. Last year, the last deciding game, I think Vegas put up nine goals or something like that.
Yeah.
It was an ass whooping.
Vegas blew them out. Yeah. Yeah. It just shows you how pathetic our teams. Vegas is in existence since yesterday. And
they've been to 3 cups, I think, and won one.
They've got one already. I mean,
I didn't have Vegas last year either.
Yeah. What a surprise. Yeah. What a shock. All right. So let's move forward now. And we are now getting into baseball season. We are in the heat of it. They have played 81 games. That's the midway point. We're approaching the All-Star break. The Phillies are holding on in first place. The Braves, other than they could beat the Yankees 2 out of 3, can't seem to gain any ground. How the Phillies looking with injuries? How's your stretch run looking over there, Mike?
So, they're looking at JT at the end of July to come back. Just Garrett Stubbs. I mean, he's a big locker room guy. Everybody seems to like him. He's the inspiration for the Dancing on My Own. They listen to all his songs during the playoff runs. Sounds like a package deal or maybe AAA for him by the deadline. Once JT comes back, because this other kid is just a way better catcher all around than Garrett Stubbs. Garrett Stubbs is, like my height, 120 pounds, soaking wet, playing professional baseball,
So he's half the man you are, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I probably 5 Garrett Stubbs.
Wow.
but we took out in the rematch against the dreaded Diamondbacks. We took them out in 3 games. We won 2 out of 3.
The dreaded that's just
the dreaded it's
terrible.
If Edmonton won yesterday, that would have been the biggest comeback I've ever seen. Until something like that happens again, the Arizona Diamondbacks beating the Phillies at home is the biggest. Like,
I got no sympathy for you after the 04 Yankees. I got no sympathy for you whatsoever.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry. I got none whatsoever.
Well, no, at least you guys lost to a real team. I don't even know who any of these guys are.
Yeah. Well, the Phillies still have a sizable lead in the division.
Ranger Suarez is leading the league in ERA.
Meanwhile, the Mets are only a game and a half out of a playoff spot. They've won, I think it's 16 out of 19 now.
Gross.
And they get ready for a series with the Yankees, who have been stumbling a little bit lately. They've lost 3 of their last 4 series. They dropped
the
2
other day too, right?
They dropped 2 out of 3 to Baltimore, and Baltimore stuck it up their ass a couple of games. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Braves, who are not what the Braves were, but yet dropped 2 out of 3. They dropped 2 out of 3 to the Red Sox, who all of a sudden are playing well, for the last 3-4 weeks. So the Yankees, all of a sudden Stanton's injured. Oh, what a shock. Giancarlo Stanton's injured. I'm so surprised. He has a pulled hamstring. DJ LeMahieu looks like he's done. He looks like he can't play anymore. He doesn't have an extra base hit. He's slower than me, and that's not good. That's not a compliment. I'm slow as shit, and he's not looking good. Glaber is hitting 220 in a contract year. If it wasn't for Judge and Soto, and, what was probably a little bit of overachieving by the pitching staff, the Yankees might be in worse shape. Now, they did get Gerrit Cole back. He's pitching tonight against the Mets. I'd like to see him throw more than 60 damn pitches tonight. That'd be nice. We need Louis Hill to bounce back tomorrow. Judge is still Judge. Soto's had a couple of brain farts lately. A little frustrating. Couple of hit right at him type line drives in right field that he's taken a step in and let it get over his head. And it's cost the Yankees. I think the fans are going a little easy on him now, but if he keeps making plays like that, how Yankee Stadium can get. Mr. Soto, you better pick it up, brother. You better pick it up right now. So the Yankees got the Mets, and there's no guarantee that they're going to take the Mets out because the Mets are playing well and the Yankees aren't playing so well, regardless of what the records say. But nonetheless, the Yankees are still tied with the Phillies for the best record in Major League Baseball, 52 wins. And I'm hoping they can straighten themselves out. Frank, what do you think about our Yankees?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm probably the fault with Louis Hill after I put $100 on him to win the
freaking mush. You are such a damn mush.
He's like that. He's like, I need Hill to get 6 strikeouts against Baltimore.
What the fuck?
Stop betting on my teams.
What is going on over there?
Jets next? Are you going to $100 on the Jets?
I'm betting the Jets and the Eagles every week.
I'm out. I'm not doing it no more. I'm out.
Jets and the Eagles every week.
Wow.
And I'm betting against the Steelers every week.
That's cool. And I'm going to bet the Steelers every week. Reverse Bush.
Wow. Trying to reverse the Bush. But, yeah, ever since you put that bet on Louis Hill, He gives up 7 runs in an inning and a third. Good job, Frank.
All right, so I think talking about the Yankees, the main problem is their pitching hasn't been there the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I'll take the blame on Heel again. But
Clay Holmes has stunk too, Frank. Clay Holmes stinks. He's not a closer. He pitches to contact. You can't be a closer if you're not getting swings and misses. He makes me shit my pants every time. There's always 2 people on base every time he comes in. He comes in with a clean inning, and he's driving me nuts. He's blown 4 saves already. That's a problem.
It's not like the 90s when we had Mo come in and we were like, okay, game's over.
I'm not expecting Mariano. Listen,
in between that,
but it can't be a guy pitching to contact that is walking 2 runners on base or giving up a little blue pick constantly and doesn't get swings and misses. Because if you get guys on second and third, you're not getting swings and misses. The other team is scoring runs. There's no avoiding that. You got 1 out, man on third. You get a light fucking fly ball to the outfield. If you got anybody with legs on base, he's in. So the Yankees have some issues to address. I don't think you could fix the LeMahieu. And now Jason Dominguez, who was the one that, all right, if Stanton gets hurt, we got Dominguez. He's out 2 months. So the Yankees go and pick up J.D. Davis, who used to play for the Mets. He's an okay player, but he was just playing in Oakland. And he was hitting .230, only 4 home runs. But I think part of that's because he's playing in the mausoleum of death out there, where the fans have bailed on the team and don't go to the game because the team has told them to go stick it and is moving to Vegas. So it could rejuvenate him. I'm hoping so, because right now the Yankees got some holes. Rizzo's out. Stanton's out. I just told you that the kid is hurt. There's holes right now. I looked at the lineup for tonight against the Mets, and after the first 5, it's not what you want.
How's that kid at first base been playing?
He's okay, but he's okay.
Rookie. Yeah.
That's why they went out and got J.D. Davis. He's starting at first base tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid of that hole. And the Yankees they need to pick up a closer. And I'm not worried about Luis Heel yet, Mushface. Okay? not worried about him yet. But what if he lays an egg against the Mets tomorrow? Now I will be worried. So
even
his
that
control
game
has not been spot on the last 3-4 games, even before the last bad game. He's been walking people. His control hasn't been the same.
Even that game against Baltimore, my son calls me. He's like, "You fucking mushed him. I bet him today."
If your son's calling it, then
Even your son knows. Even your son calls you. Even your son calls you and says,
What the fuck?
So even with that, we know what happens when Frank talks about something. His son knows, I know, everybody
knows. He knows, I know, everybody knows.
We all know.
He's a mush. Whatever he says, opposite happens.
I'm just warming up for football season. It's all we're just starting the car early.
God, I can't wait for that.
No, I can wait for that. I can wait.
I might be a fucking multi-millionaire.
I know. There's a fire coming, and it's going to burn my football franchise to the ground because it's what happens. So we'll get back to that another time. But getting back on the Yankees quick. Now the Yankees have the Mets coming up. They got to hit Baltimore again. I mean, it doesn't get easy for the Yankees going into the All-Star break. And until they get their guys back, and the Stanton thing hurts. He had 18 home runs and 38 RBIs. I mean, he was playing well this year. This wasn't Stanton last year or the year before. This is the best version we've seen since the first year the Yankees got him.
Right.
And, between that and Rizzo, and now Rizzo's on the 60-day. Oh, my God. It's like, what the hell is going on here?
All right. At least it's the end of June. It's not September when this is happening. So get them back by middle of August, still being first, and then make your run.
But will they?
I don't know.
Baltimore's only a game and a half back. Will they? That's the problem. It's not. We're not in the garbage NL East like the Phillies are, with all these shit dogs behind us, and we just have to tread water. No, we have a real team breathing up our ass. And if the Yankees take a slip now because of all these injuries, they could lose first place. Right now the Phillies can go, their players can go get drunk, find hookers, and have a long night and drop the next 4, and they're still going to be in first place by 6 games.
That's what we've been doing anyway.
Yeah.
They'll get that hawk too.
But all right, so that's the baseball end of things. Yankees, Mets always has a little bit of juice, at least. It'll have some. I think it means more to the Mets right now than the Yankees. As I said before, the Mets have won a bunch of games, and while they don't have a prayer of catching the Phillies, they can get in the playoffs. They're only 2 games under 500 now. They were 11 games just 2 weeks ago under 500.
14 games out of first.
Yeah, so they're not
under 500.
They're not cat. Yeah, but look at their last 20. They were 11
I got their
games.
last 10. They were 8-2.
They were 11 games under 500, Mike. 11 under. So they're playing.
All you got to do is get hot at the right time.
Well, look. What did Arizona do last year?
Yeah,
184 games.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this.
They got the same record as the Mets.
Let's talk about this.
38-40.
Let's talk about this before we move on. So Arizona last year wins 84 games, is the 5th seed in the National League, and gets to the World Series, right?
Okay, so they do allow, it's 12 teams.
Okay.
With the 2 buys. The 2 highest division winners get the bye.
The top 2 records in each league.
Yeah.
Right, and 3 plays 6 and 4 plays 5.
So the division winner, the 3rd division winner, has to play wild card weekend.
Correct.
The number 1 seed is guaranteed not to play the division winner.
Right. They're going to get the lowest seed remaining because it's going to reseed.
Right. But you would go, oh, okay, yeah, that's the way it's supposed to work. Last year, the Braves were the number 2 seed. And the Phillies won. And they had to play us despite, or no, were they the number 1 seed? The point was the Braves in the NFL, the Braves wouldn't have played the F.
I think the only league left that doesn't reseed is the NBA, if I'm not mistaken. They're the only ones.
NBA is bracketed.
Right, they're straight bracket. There's no reseeding in the NBA. The other leagues all reseed now, but I don't like this playoff format, Mike. I'm going to tell you why. It's too watered down. The division don't mean as much anymore. It's way too watered down. So think about this. The Diamondbacks get to the World Series last year with 84 wins. I could tell you in the 80s, the Yankees had multiple teams with 90 wins that couldn't win the division because that's when Toronto was heydaying it, right? When they had their team with Carter and all those guys. It kept the quality of the playoffs high, though. I don't like the quality of the playoffs when you have an 84-win team getting to the World Series. Their regular season meant shit. They were 6 games over 500. It's a waste. It's a waste. I don't like it.
I'm just going to interject and tell you, the Braves did have the best record. They were the number 1 seed last year, and that's why they had a big huff and puff, because they had to play us. Meanwhile, the number 6 seed went to the Dodgers, and the Dodgers played Arizona. Now they changed it last year. Last year was the first year that they did it. The year before that, the Phillies were, I think, the 5 seed.
So what they changed for this year? Just the reseeding?
No. This is the first year that since they've put the larger wild card in, that they're not changing anything. So each league is going to have 6 representatives. The top 2 get the bye.
Right.
The number 1 team is only guaranteed not to play a division winner. So if the number 3 seed wins,
they automatically play. That's how the NFL was.
Play 2.
They automatically play 2, right?
But if the number 4 seed wins and the 3 seed loses, it's bracketed.
Okay, so it only unbrackets if the division winner wins.
Right. Stupid.
That is stupid. Either do one or do the other. Pick one.
And I felt for the Braves last year for that too. I mean, we spanked them, and I loved every second of it because fuck the Braves. But it is dumb. If you're gonna, I don't think division teams should play each other until it's a championship series. Period. I think So wait. Let me give you this, and I've seen this many times in baseball. Let's look forward to this year. Let's live in make-believe land. Bloom, bloom, bloom. We're going forward to the future. The Yankees won the division. Won 106 games. The Orioles won 103 games and are a wild card. They're the second best record in the league.
but they didn't win a division. They should not be playing each other till the ALCS. They're the two best teams. They should be separated till the ALCS.
Well, that's why they put divisions in so that.
But so what? But so what? You have a team that wins 103. All right, they still got to play in the wild card round, but they shouldn't have to play. Their seeding should be by record. You got to play in the wild card round, but you have the second best record. So if you move on to the division, you're not playing number one because you have the second best record. I don't think that should happen. I think that it's a disservice to good baseball. I mean, think about it, right? The two best ALCSs I ever watched, the most entertaining, were the two Yankee Red Sox ones, including the one the Yankees choked away, 03 and 04.
Mhm.
Those were phenomenal series, both ALCSs. Why were they phenomenal? Because the rivalry mattered, and they were playing in the championship series. That's why they shouldn't do it, because it's better baseball. It's just better baseball.
So then, in Turk's Major League Baseball, where you're the commissioner, you get rid of the divisions.
I'm not getting rid of the divisions. I'm just not allowing two division
So
playoff
what's the
teams.
point?
I'm telling you, I'm not
What's the point of
allowing.
divisions?
I'm telling you what it is. I'm not allowing the two best records to play until the championship series. If they got knocked off before, then so be it. But if they're both surviving this series, I want the two best records in my championship game because they're the two best teams in the league. This isn't the NFL where it's 16 games and you're playing teams in your division twice. Everybody's playing the same amount of games against the same teams, period.
Oh.
Period. So this was the second best team out of those 162 games. They shouldn't play the first best team until the championship round. That's how, if I was commissioner, I would make sure it was. Frankie?
Frank, you're
Real
the
quick.
commissioner. Go.
I do agree with that. But what is so the 3 versus 6 and the 4 versus 5? How long are those periods?
Oh, it's the best of 3.
Oh, is it really?
Yes. And they don't leave the higher seeds home.
That's the way they did it last year, right? Where the
Right,
home.
the higher seed has
So
all three home
last
games.
year in the first round, the Brewers and the Phillies had home field advantage, meaning if it went to
All
game
three games are at home,
they
right?
still played in Philly.
Right.
Okay, so
I
then
thought they upped that to best of 5 this year. I guess I was wrong.
so let's just say 3 and 4 win. Then 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. Those are best of 5 or best of 7?
Those are best of 5.
Right. Only the
Only
championship series is best of 7.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Adam's point. Like, you want to see Atlanta versus the Mets. I mean, Atlanta versus the Phillies. Geez, Mets against the Phillies in the championship, not in the best of 5. And then obviously, you want to see Yankees Red Sox when it's best of 7 for all the marbles to go to the World Series.
Or in this case, this year, Yankees and Orioles, who are by far and away, and it's not
Right.
close right now, by far and away the two best teams in the American League. By far and away.
Should do something like they should do something record wise where like if the Yankees win 104 and Baltimore wins 100 and the next best team is 90, how are you getting faulted for being in the wrong division?
Well, then we're going to what Mike was saying I was doing. Then you're eliminating divisions if you're doing that. I'm still letting the division count for whether you're playing the wild card round or not, whether you're the home team or not. So if the Central Division winner wins 92 games and Baltimore's the wild card and won 103 games, it's at the Central Division winner. But if Baltimore wins that series, they're not playing the Yankees the next series. They're going to be the better record the next series due to their win-loss record. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't want to change the initial seeding. I just want to make sure the two best records don't play each other until it's time to play each other.
Oh, and I agree with that. So now with your point though, so if Baltimore has the 3rd best record, you think it's okay then if they play the Yankees in the second round?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because they don't have that 1-2 status. Now,
Okay.
I'd rather not. Like, I mean, it's just more fun to see your division rival in the championship series. But no, if there's that much of a disparity, if they were the 3rd or 4th best team, then they're the 3rd or 4th best team. They're not the 2nd best team.
Right. No, I agree with all that.
I think one of the main reasons why they did what they did, especially with this, was because it didn't happen often, but they kept having these playoff games. They kept popping up.
That's right.
So they were like, let's get rid of this. We'll add a wild card round.
And the wild cards, listen, ever since the inception of the wild cards have won. They've won some World Series. So the wild card has not been insignificant.
I think I have a way to get rid of that.
Oh shit! Here comes the Kensington perspective.
Oh,
Here
Yeah,
it comes.
play it.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So, one of the main reasons why I think, the lower seed keeps winning, and I'm looking at this. Minnesota pretty much was the only team that was a division winner that moved on in the past 2 years since they've been doing this. Why don't 1 and 2 play during the wild card round for home field advantage?
Because they already know who that is. They're 1 and 2. One has a better record than 2.
Let them play this way. They're playing for something.
No, okay, first of all, that may be one of the dumbest things you've ever said.
Why
right?
is that? Why?
Because you played 162 games to get 1, not to
Right.
get into a series to play for 1. You played the 162 to get the 1 seed. You were a 110 win team to get the 1 seed. I'm not going to make you gamble it away in a series. That's something Frank would do in parks. That makes no sense.
Okay, then make it even. Just make it even. There shouldn't be a bye. That's where the other.
Now you're talking.
Get rid of the
'Cause
bye.
I think
There
in
shouldn't
baseball,
be a bye.
I think in baseball, more than any other sport, timing and everything and staying in your rhythm is important.
Rhythm.
Especially for hitters. To keep seeing live pitching, to keep seeing pitchers coming at them with everything they got, it's important. And I agree with you. I think the team that gets a bye is at a little bit of a disadvantage because they're taking a week off while the other team is still playing, staying in their groove. So that's what I agree with you. That's why what I would want, the Turk playoff system, is the original playoff system. 1 wild card team, 3 division winners. 1 plays the wild card, 2 plays 3. ALCS after that. Buff on God. Have a nice day. That's it.
Make 4 divisions.
But the hell with the wild. Why do we need a wild card round in baseball? They're playing 162 games to begin with. Why do we need a full-blown wild card round? Why can't it just be the 4 best teams in each league? Why are we watering it down to bring in 84 win teams into a playoff situation they don't deserve? They don't deserve it. They won 84 games. They don't deserve it.
Listen, I'm just as much as you're against that, I'm against the play-in round in basketball too. So
I agree with that too. I don't like that either.
I think that's so dumb. I think that was just a way to keep LeBron in the playoffs.
No, it's about money, Bob. That's it. It's about making
LeBron
more
brings
TV money. Oh, it's more TV money. We get more playoff games. Now ESPN has to buy them. Whoever has to buy them. It's more money. Remember what we said. It's always about money. And when they say it's not, it's twice as much about the money. Right. So
wait, I have a question. Who won the in-season playoff tournament in basketball last year?
The Lakers.
Oh, did they? I was just seeing because I had no idea.
They raised a banner for it too.
Yeah.
That's like the participation trophy they gave your son that got 2 at-bats and batted 12.
Right.
You know, it's like the same thing.
From the waterborne toss. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we both agree the baseball situation needs to be.
Yeah, something's got to give. And that's the only reason why I said that. It's just to keep those teams playing.
They're never going to eliminate these wild card rounds for the same reason they have the play-in system.
Right. It's money, and
No.
it has been. Actually, no, it hasn't been. Hasn't been very exciting.
And it also keeps teams from tanking and selling out at the trade line because they're still alive. Like what the Mets, perfect example. They're 2 games under 500. Under 500. Yet they're going to be buyers because they're only a game and a half out of the wild card. They're going to be buyers. They're going to go get a pitcher. They're going to go get something. They're going to go get an outfit. Whatever they feel they're going to try to do it. Steve Cohen's has money, and he's going to trade for something. They're going to do something. I'm sure the Mets are going to do something. I'm going to bet money on that.
Right, and now that whole NL Central is now 1 or 2 games back of the wild card spot.
Yeah.
The Pirates.
The whole division is basically – there's only – I think they were saying this the other night. There's only 3 teams right now that you look at and you say, they're really not in it. Everybody else is.
Yeah.
Everyone else is still, within 5 games of a wild card, still within shouting distance.
Okay.
So
yeah, back in 2022, the Mets were the only one to lose in 2 years in that first round series to have an actual loss.
The good old Mets.
Won 2-0.
Always counting them to screw it up. Yeah. You know why? Because the Mets, more than anybody ever, they always do this.
Oh no! We suck again!
Yeah.
And the past since they've started this, the National League has been 5-6.
Playoffs?
I'm sorry, no,
Don't talk about
last year the Phillies
playoffs.
were 4. Wait, 2 non-division winners have always been in the National League Championship.
You kidding
The
me?
Phillies and
Playoffs?
Phillies and Padres, and the Phillies and the Diamondbacks.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
Yeah,
We're gonna lock it up soon. Don't worry about that.
Well, so yeah, again, I don't like the watered down product, and you're never going to take these wild cards away because it's TV money. And TV money, you know what the funny thing is, and this is sad about sports now, they couldn't care less if you, me, Frankie, or any other degenerate went to a game, because what they make on the TV money, that's why they were willing to play those games during the pandemic with no crowds, because that's not where the money is. That's extra money. That's like when you go to the bar and, a couple people buy you a drink. That's what that stadium money is to them as compared to what the TV money is. TV money is what pays their bills. That's the real deal. Right. And as long as TV's going to pay for it, they're going to add rounds. Eventually, hey, maybe we'll have a day where all 32 teams are in, and it's all one-game elimination like the NCAA tournament. That sounds like a good idea. Let's do it. Oh, please. I mean, I can't.
Yeah, when they went to 60, I think it's 68 teams now.
Yeah,
like
because they're adding extra.
Christ.
They're talking about adding more.
I know,
but they better not. It's perfect right now.
I do like that, and football expanded their playoffs.
I do too.
I do like it
college football?
12 next year.
Okay, so check it out. I like the expansion. They went too far. 12 is too much. That first round game is going to be someone getting their shit pushed in. It's not worth it. Right. They should have just went 8. 8 is perfect. They should have done 8.
Yeah, but
they went 4 to 12. It is a little heavy.
Should have just went to 8. 8 would have been a great number. And you could have. How many major conferences are there? 6?
5 or 6, yeah.
5.
Big
so
5.
5 majors could have been automatic bids, and then 3 at-larges. Your 3 at-larges can come from smaller conferences, whatever else. You can use your stupid AP voting on that shit that works like crap, but at least you'll have a say-so on the last 3 teams. So you get your 5 conference winners, your next 3 at-larges, that's your 8 teams. Let's play football. Why are they so stupid? Why is there no logic in the way they do things?
It's money.
You just said it already.
But quality of product counts.
Listen, you want to keep a quality of product? Kick Notre Dame out of any playoff scenario ever in college football.
They would have to get an at-large bid. Now, you see, this would force Notre Dame, what I said.
This might actually.
If it was 5 plus 3, and the 3 had to be at-larges, which means they're never a top 5 seed, that means Notre Dame, no matter what they do through the season, unless they join a conference, could never be a top 5 seed.
Right. And that would be glorious because I'm tired of fucking hearing their name. Every year. Oh, we got to watch out for. No, the fuck you don't. No, you don't. And they are the Dallas Cowboys of college basketball or college football.
You got to pick on the poor Cowboys again, huh?
They just talk about how great their 88 national championship was. I was born that year. Okay? That championship is as old as I am. And what did they even play the championship game, or was it just number 1?
I can't tell you the things I was doing in 88 because I would incriminate myself.
I think that might be the year where they played Miami at home, and that was the Convicts versus the Catholics game.
Oh, I actually remember that, yeah.
And Miami got screwed because they said he fumbled into the end zone. And
was it a national championship game, or was that like their last game of the season?
That was like in November. That was a regular season game.
Regular season game.
That's what I mean. Like, it was a bullshit time. They were just giving
Colorado in the championship. And then Colorado beat them the next year. I think it was 89 and then 90 Colorado won it.
Yeah. Oh, that every year they went and they played Bama. They got smoked. Like
Clemson, they got smoked.
Clemson got smoked. They only made.
Turk is calling a timeout.
We're going off the rails?
Yeah, we're getting too far into college football. We're not there yet. They haven't even released NCAA 25 yet. Okay, so
we were talking about playoffs.
No,
Playoffs.
it's not time to talk about the damn playoffs. All right.
All right. Well, we were talking about
playoffs?
different
Don't
playoffs.
talk about
all
it.
right.
Playoffs?
Go ahead.
You kidding me? Playoffs?
See, you know, even Jim Moore don't agree with you.
I so remember that interview. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. We're getting later in the show, so I want us to hit our first segment of the most underrated NFL players at their position. Da, 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 da. That's right. Old school NFL stuff. I should have gotten that music. Oh, I probably would have been flagged for it and thrown off a TikTok or something.
Yeah.
The
Right.
fuck.
And Howard Cosell say something.
Yeah. So we decided we are going to pick the most underrated defensive end that we think. Non-Hall of Famer, heavy contributor to a winning team, even if he didn't win a Super Bowl. Mike, who is your most underrated defensive end from 1980 to 2024?
Okay. So, in my search, I came down to two heavy hitters on the Eagles.
Why you always got to be about the Eagles with you?
Because I love them. I love them. And you might agree.
What the fuck?
I was going to go with Clyde Simmons first.
He's a good player.
So Clyde Simmons.
You can't go. You can't pick both. If he's not the one you pick, fuck Clyde Simmons.
So hold on, just
Go to
real
the
quick,
guy you
real
pick.
quick. Hold on, real quick. Had 19 sacks in 92, 13 sacks in 91, and 15 in 89. He was an 8th round pick. But once Reggie White left, he was a no-go. Now, the guy who I'm picking is Trent Cole. Trent Cole.
Good player.
Trent Cole, yes. He was drafted 5th round, 146th overall. And had career 133 tackles for loss and hold on. 90 and a half sacks. Now, he didn't have a guy like Reggie White on the other side. There was nobody really on the other side during those times with the Eagles. You had Fletcher Cox, a young Fletcher Cox, when Chip Kelly first came in, when they went to the 3-4. He also had to move, too. They moved him back to right outside linebacker. So he was still kind of edge rusher. I know that was against the rules.
That's against the rules, defensive end.
But the fact that he could play different.
I want defensive ends, not guys that can play different positions. Cut it out.
But he got most of his sacks as a defensive end.
Yeah, almost.
Pretty
Only counts in horseshoes, hand grenades, and nuclear missiles, Mike.
Listen, just because you hate us, because you ain't us, all right?
Yeah.
What? You hate us because you ain't us.
Wow. We hate us because of your anus? What does that got to do with anything?
It has a lot to do with everything.
Oh, it means you're an asshole. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, like I said, I called you an anus.
Yeah. All right, so that's Mike's nomination. Frank, what you got?
Yeah, I don't like this question because it's biased against me. My Steelers play a 3-4, so I can't use edge rushers. But anyway, I'd have to go back to the 70s, and all those defensive ends are in the Hall of Fame. So.
Hall of Famers, yeah, it's kind of underrated. Don't matter. But you know, you're allowed to
That's
use
why
the
I
other
said
team.
I thought edge rusher should be included.
I went a different team. I went a totally different team. I don't have notes like you guys. You guys are professional. I've been drinking all day. But
Fun.
so mine, I don't even know what his numbers are, but I will go with mine. The other guy got all the fame. The other guy being Dwight Freeney, but I'll go with Robert Mathis on the other side. Thought he was a underrated defensive end for the Colts. Couldn't give you his numbers offhand.
You know, you do have something called a phone, right?
Yeah.
I know.
No,
And there's
touch
something called fucking
Don't touch
Google,
it.
you caveman.
Don't
For
fucking
the love
touch
of
it.
Jesus. Are you serious? What? You gotta pick up your
Don't
phone.
touch it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to apologize for the lack of quality for this
I'm
program.
here for gambling talk.
Oh my God. Okay. Whatever, Frank. Yeah. Go lose another bet, will you?
We'll talk about Tomlin. Go ahead.
Jesus. Yeah, go watch Mike Tomlin get a 55-year extension. Screw you.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Adam, you're up. Who is your underrated defensive end?
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's an easy choice. And the reason it's an easy choice, because he's someone who should be in the Hall of Fame, was never put in the Hall of Fame because quite frankly, they don't like him because he wasn't the nicest guy with interviewers. He kind of has a little bit of the Albert Bell thing, like in baseball. I think we all know Albert Bell should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. No questions asked. His numbers scream. I'm one of the 10 best hitters in the history of baseball. But because he was a dick face and they don't like him, he's not in. Well, similar with this guy, and my pick is none other than the sack dancer himself, the originator of the first crazy dance, Mr. Mark Gastineau, number 99 from the Jets, a second-round pick, number 41 overall in 1979, came into his own, had the sack record for many years of 21 and a half until Brett Favre laid down so his buddy Strahan could get the sack record, right? Mark Gastineau was a destructive force on the New York Sack Exchange. And listen, he had good players with him. Joe Klecko just went in the Hall of Fame, way overdue. Abdul Salam, at the time considered one of the best defensive tackles in the game. Marty Lyons, another big-time player. But Mark Gastineau was, I'll say, on a pass rush perspective, LT-ish. He was that good of a pass rusher. And he did some stupid things in his career. He let someone ruin his career, Bridget Nielsen. When he started dating her, and I don't want to play, I'm not going to play football no more. And I love Mark Gastineau. I actually met him once. He's a really nice guy now. He's not in, last I saw, he wasn't in the best of physical shape, but Mark Gastineau, for about a 5-6 year period, was the hands down better than Bruce Smith, best pass rusher in football. Not in the Hall of Fame. He's still second. Well, yeah, second because Watt tied Strahan. So he's still second all-time in sacks for a single season. He's the all-time Jet sack leader on what was at the time one of the most dominant defenses in the game, and that is my selection. Number 99.
And he had that dumb fucking. Didn't he go like with the legs?
Oh yeah, he had the whole crazy dance, but
The crazy legs.
Mark Gastineau also he broke my heart too, Mike. I mean, one of my memories as a very young man with the Jets. One of my best ones was the Jets started the season 10-1. Sound familiar, Mike?
Very.
Started 10-1, and all of a sudden, Kenny O'Brien went in the toilet and just couldn't play, and he looked terrible for 4 straight games to where the Jets benched him and started Pat Ryan for the playoff game against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Jets went from 10-1 to 10-6, had to play in the wild card round, go and beat Kansas City handily, going to Cleveland, look like the better team, winning all games. Third, and I want to say 17 for the Browns, down 10 points with 2.5 minutes left. Gastineau takes, no exaggeration, 3 extra steps to hit Bernie Kosar. 3. Now, we're talking the 80s. So for them to call roughing the quarterback, roughing the passer, you had to come with a bat, and you had to slap him over his head and then drag him through the field, pull his mask off, and punch him in the face 5 times. Otherwise, they weren't calling it. So that's how blatant this was. And it was an automatic first down. The Browns scored. The Browns kicked onside. The Browns scored a field goal. 2 overtimes later, I laid on the ground crying like a child in a fetal position. As Mark Mosley,
I would have fucking paid to see that.
Mark Mosley missed 2 field goals in overtime. Mark Mosley, who was the Browns kicker. 2 he missed. He didn't miss the 3rd one. And that was a wrap. And that really sucked. That's my Gastineau story of pain. The Jets were.
That could have been a whole other segment right there.
That is. Listen, you don't know the shoes I've walked in with this damn franchise. You don't understand what the saying "oh the pain" really means. Oh the pain is an exaggeration of nothing. It is exactly what it is. You watch, and even when things are great, you just know it. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know,
What year was that?
even Bill Parcells couldn't break. What the hell was that notification?
I think that was my fault.
What the fuck? Your audio situation is a fucking train wreck.
Wait, Adam, what year was this?
What the fuck?
What, the Gastineau late hit?
Yeah.
1984.
So what you sure it was Kosar and it wasn't Brian Sipe?
No, it was Kosar. It was after Sipe. I think it was Kosar. It was it might have been his rookie year.
Okay.
Might have been his rookie year. It was
Well, he
Kosar.
was on in 83.
Trust me, it was Bernie Kosar.
Okay.
Trust me. Yeah. But that Jet team, and it was 85, because that's the year the Jets won 10-1. The playoffs were in 86. The season was 85.
Gotcha.
So, that goes in a long litany of things. I mean, even Bill Parcells. I remember when the Jets hired Bill Parcells, I almost had a heart attack and passed out. I couldn't believe an actual real good football coach wanted to coach my shitty team and actually give us a chance. I couldn't believe that he took a 1-15 team in its first year and made them 9-7. And then the next year, 13-3, win the division, slam the Jaguars in the playoffs. Raw! Here we come. Go to Denver, 10-0 lead at halftime. Yeah. Kickoff gets caught up in the wind, falls in the middle of the field. The Broncos jump on it, and the whole game changed. And the Jets lost 13-10 in the AFC Championship. This is real shit.
Can't make this up.
This is terrible. I got another one for you. 1981, the Sack Exchange during its birth. Strike year to top it off. So it's a shortened season with an expanded playoffs. The Jets have some great games. They go into Oakland and beat the brakes off the Raiders. Greg Buttle has 3 interceptions. I remember like it was yesterday. That week, it rained in Miami all week. The Jets had guys like Wesley Walker. They were a fast team. Freeman McNeil. Miami wasn't fast. For some reason, Don Shula didn't cover the field all week. And they went and played in a swimming pool for the AFC Championship game in Miami. And A.J. Due, the defensive end, returned 2 interceptions for touchdowns. If you could believe that. Yes, the defensive end.
What are you doing throwing a ball in a pool?
This is my life. You understand? It's my life. So that's some sad Jet stories to go with our most underrated. But I think the segment was good. I think we all made good choices for our most underrated.
So what you got for next week? What position next week?
Next week, let's flip sides of the ball. Let's go most underrated running back.
Ooh.
In the last 45 years. Have fun researching, Frank. You actually have to fucking do something this week.
I will. I'll have better notes. Oh, and just so you guys know,
if you had any notes, they'd be better notes.
Okay. So just so you guys know, starting next week, since we have about, I'll say 8 or 9 weeks till the NFL starts, we will do our predictions for each division. So we'll say
get ready to bet against Frank. What Frank says, go the other way. If
I was going to start off
Jets to win the division. I'm never talking to you again. You understand?
I'm not picking the Jets.
Okay, good.
I know who I'm picking.
Good.
But anyway, you want to start with the NFC West or AFC West, just so we don't.
We'll start with the AFC West since the defending champ is in there.
Okay, so we'll start with the AFC West next week. I'll give you the lines later in the week what they are.
You're actually going to do some research?
Yes, I'm going to do some research.
You've been the most freeloading gambling expert I've
ever seen. So I want
seen.
you to give me your division winner and then give me your upset special.
Okay.
If there is one.
That.
If there is one.
Winner and upset special. I like that. What do you think, Matt, Mike? You like that?
Sure, let's do it. You know, I'm always down for whatever.
Yeah, we heard that about you Kensington folk. Yeah.
Anything for $5, for like 3 years.
Anything for $5. I understand. Yeah.
I'm not gay, but $20 is $20.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Well, one thing we could agree on before the end of the show is everybody. Boston. That's right. It's still fuck Boston. Nobody likes Boston, right? We got 5 minutes left. Let's talk real quick about the NBA offseason. Sixers.
The draft's tonight, right?
Yes. That's why we got to talk about the offseason.
They don't have to. They're picking whatever. And
the Sixers, are they going to do anything in the offseason? OG Anunoby opted out of his contract.
Listen, nobody wants to come here. So
why?
The Sixers were in heavy pursuit of Paul George. And they put on Twitter yesterday or the day before. Paul
George said,
"What the fuck?"
That's what Paul George said.
He went, "Who is this? I know you're from where?"
Oh, here we go.
We did it again. This works every time.
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect.
It does it every time. Here we go. Oh my God! All right, let's get
It's at
this.
the 55-minute mark.
So, yeah, it's seriously, it's at the 55-minute mark every time. This flips over. All right. Well, anyway, yeah. They're calling people. A lot of people are just fucking hanging up the phone. They're not going after LeBron James.
Now, the question is
LeBron
this,
James.
Mike. I got a question for you. Why? Embiid's an all-world player. Why wouldn't somebody want to go there? Seriously.
I mean, did you see? Have you seen what's been going on at the
Well, I
past
saw
couple
it
of years?
I saw what happened in your building in a playoff game when the Knicks fans came in and turned it into the Garden.
You guys you're like, and I'm reaping all the benefits.
Yeah.
You know, we if it was raining pussy, we would get hit with a dick.
Wow.
I mean, there's nothing that we could do right now.
Ouch.
There's nothing that they could do right.
Holy wrong gender, Batman.
Daryl Morey's been called a liar publicly from China by James Harden.
I heard,
we're talking about going after a 40-year-old.
You know what? You're right. I didn't even think that. His reputation probably amongst the players because of that whole Harden thing,
Yeah.
probably taking a big hit.
And James Harden was Paul George's teammate this year. He's like,
yeah, that's
hang up
right.
that fucking phone.
He probably has stories for him. You don't want to go there, bro.
You don't want to talk to that
don't do
guy.
it.
You don't want to talk to that guy. Hang up the phone. Unfortunately, with the Sixers, this might be like kind of like how they went into this year. Let's just see what happens with with Tyrese Maxey. And the only time you got to look at them during the trade deadline.
You got to fill some spots on your roster. I mean, they're not bringing back Tobias Harris, obviously. You got to get some mid-level players.
I don't know who they're going to get in the draft, who they're going to look at in the draft. I know that they need somebody. They need another center. They need another big man. Excuse me. They need another big man.
Yeah, the backup to Embiid, he's soft. The Knicks urinated all over him. He's terrible.
Paul Reed.
Yeah, he's terrible. And he talked smack, too. I was so happy they crammed it up his ass.
Yeah, whatever. He was a Delaware Blue Coast kind of guy. So he won.
Don't talk shit in the media, bro. You know?
What do you mean?
He did before the series. He talked shit. We wanted the Knicks. Well, how'd that feel? How you like that? You like that?
You like Apple?
Cool.
This wasn't practice.
How far did you get?
This was a game.
How far did you get?
We talking about
here we go.
practice, not a game, not the game that I
not the game.
Go out there and
this is going to stretch past our hour time limit.
That's okay. So, all right.
Yeah,
So
as far as the Sixers, don't expect nothing really crazy during the offseason. They're going to go in with probably the same core guys. They're probably going to go after Buddy Hield again, and we'll see. We'll see.
I hope so. That sounds good to me as a Knicks fan. Yeah, I like that. As far as the Knicks, as expected, OG Anunoby opted out of his contract, which we figured he would. So now the word is still Philadelphia wants to sign him.
Yeah.
I know the Knicks want him back, but the Knicks only have so much cap room they can give him. If Philly wants him, they're probably going to have to give him $25 million a year, and his OG Anunoby and his injury-prone history worth that. I don't even think from a Knicks perspective, and he fits us perfect. And I loved the Knicks with him when it was him, Randall, and Brunson for that 21-game stretch before the injuries when the Knicks were 18-3. But I don't know if I love him that much at anything over $20 million a year, as injury-prone as he is. Hartenstein is still supposedly they want to re-sign him, but again, cap room issues. Unless they make a trade, and supposedly they have been shopping Mitch Robinson, which I'm a little sad about, but I think is the right thing. His game is too one-dimensional. And while he may be the best offensive rebounder in the league, which he has been, while he might be a top 3 defender, which he is, he's always hurt. He's another one of these guys that's always hurt. And Hartenstein has way more offensive game. I'd rather have Hartenstein than someone else. There's still rumors flying around that the Knicks might look to make a big trade. I have mixed feelings on whether they should trade Julius or not. Part of me says just bring back Julius, Anunoby, and Hartenstein and recreate what you had those 21 games and see if that is it. Because I'll tell you what, it looked like it was it. For 21 games, and I'm not saying this as a Knicks fan, I'm saying this as a true basketball observer. For 21 games, they looked like the best team in the NBA. They were playing that. They went into Philly that game and smoked you guys by 30 points. Remember that? They came in that game. After you, they went to Denver and smoked Denver by 20 points. After that, they went out to LA and smoked the Clips by 20 points. I mean, they really looked like that was a championship caliber team.
Still semifinalists.
And I'm nervous. Well, Mike, we played with one starter and 5 balls. I mean, what do you
You
expect?
like assholes, Turk.
You know what? And there's a lot of assholes in Philly. You've been making excuses for a long time. So
I wouldn't say excuses. I kind of live with the fact that I told you at the start of this whole podcast, Philadelphia is tired of this bullshit.
Oh, no.
The hell was that?
We suck
I don't know. He's got sound issues too.
yeah.
He's got more than just sound issues.
Yeah.
All right, since you two are the NBA guys, I'm going to give you 2 college things real quick.
Go for it.
Oh, don't
Now-
pick Gonzaga. Don't do it.
Oh, baby, 20-1 to win it all. Returning all their starters except Watson. Picked up 2 guys in the portal. They're going to be good this year. Telling you,
Mike, I love Gonzaga. You know why?
it makes some money.
They give me free coffee every year. I get about a week of free coffee from Frank every year when Gonzaga gets eliminated.
No,
Oh, your St. John's is going to be better this year. They are.
St. John's is going to be good this year.
And then one other. Did you guys see that Florida has a guy coming in at 7'9"?
7'9". I saw his high school
He
highlights.
don't do this.
Dude,
yeah, he just
he
reaches
is the
up.
biggest human. He makes Yao Ming look small.
He was
Yeah.
6'1". He was 6'1". He was 8 years old.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, can you imagine a 6'1" 8-year-old?
Who's guarding the 7'9" guy who could just reach up and dunk?
But they're like 70.
Well, those guys don't last long.
I looked today. They're 70-1 to win it all. I guess the rest of the team sucks, but I don't know.
Well, you got to remember too, he's going to be 18 years old, so
Right.
it's not like he's a seasoned college player now. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets drafted after 1 year. I would think it'd be a big mistake.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
if he develops right for at least 2 years, you're going to be talking about him and Victor Wembanyama for a long time. But like Mike said, and I agree with this, and I live it with Kristaps Porzingis. Even after he left the Knicks, I keep an eye on his career. He's one of those big 7'4" guys, and those guys could just never stay healthy. They always have leg problems. They always have knee problems. They have feet problems. I mean, they pull their calves. It's just nonstop leg problems on these bigger players.
Well, Chet too on Oklahoma.
Yeah.
What's he say?
Anybody that's like over 7'2" is almost like too big to stay healthy,
Right.
it seems.
Weird.
Yeah.
Remember, even back in the day, Sean Bradley was
Sean
always
Bradley,
hurt,
yeah.
right?
Manu.
Remember him?
Manu.
Who else can we think? Yao Ming was always hurt. Oh, and that guy was a building in the middle of the floor,
Yeah.
but he could never stay on the court. So Houston could
Manu
never win
Ball.
with him.
Manute Bol, yeah.
Manu Ball's
The
another one.
biggest.
Yeah.
Dude, Manute was playing craps down at Harris. He's sitting in a chair. He's still 5 feet taller than me.
On that note,
Is that hard?
we're going to get ready to say goodbye to Frankie Ravioli at this time. Frankie, next week, you're going to have some bad bets so people can bet against you.
I will.
Okay?
I'm not doing
AirPods.
no WNBA, no Copa America, no Euro Cup, none of that crap.
Crap. Wow. You just cut off audience that will never have you. Thanks. Good job. Yeah.
Yeah, our soccer fans are pissed now.
Yeah, they're pissed. They don't like you at all. You know why? Because they were watching us on TikTok. That's why. Goodbye,
Yeah.
Frankie. See you later. We will talk to you later, my friend. Oh, we suck
Wait,
again.
there
We
we
went
go.
sideways. All right.
I
Well,
hope life's
Mike-
going sideways.
It was a good show, Mike.
Yeah, we went over an hour.
Yeah, it's okay. Not that matters. I mean, all 5 listeners will be patient enough to listen for the hour. So, next week we'll go into our next most underrated segment, which we're going to do running backs. And we'll get a little deeper in baseball. We'll know what's happening with the NBA, free agency opening up and all that good stuff now. So news should start trickling in, and we're getting ever closer. Less than 6 weeks to NFL camp.
Yep. I'm excited for that.
I'm not.
I'm very excited for it. And
I'm scared.
I want to end this again like we kind of ended last week. Eagles fans, give fucking Jalen a break, man. Seriously, again. I had to go and buy.
What the fuck?
I had to go buy a cord to listen to my own music because 94.1 was driving me fucking nuts. They're talking about trading them. What can we get for him?
Well, you got Kenny Pickett
he's got
now.
one more year left.
You don't need him. You got Pickett.
Yeah, we got Kenny Pickett. Yeah, Pick's in the name. We need to give the fucking guy a break. Let him play. Let him play. Let's see how Kellen Moore runs the offense because Nick Sirianni is not a play calling coach. You know who else was a play calling coach? Not that they should be compared.
Belichick. That's because Belichick wasn't an offensive coach.
Right, but he also didn't really. I mean, he was a defensive coordinator, called plays, but he deferred that as the head coach. He made sure that he managed the team and managed the gameplay. Didn't call the plays. Let that up to the coordinators. Let Kellen Moore run the offense. Then, if he's thinking, then we could talk about killing the guy. But we don't have to do it in 3 weeks before training camp. And that's all I got to say about that.
And here comes Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett will come running out of the tunnel.
Hey, he was an Eagles fan too. He was an Eagles fan.
Nobody's perfect, Eagles fan. Nobody's perfect. Yeah. So I think it's time for us to go now. Please like and subscribe to our channel. I'm going to put up the new TikTok this week. I waited a week for a response from you lowlifes. I didn't get one. So now I'm going to make another TikTok. So I'll put it up on our Facebook page or anything so everyone knows where to find our antics.
And it's going to be the first video is going to be my big Philly hairy ass.
Well, that's nasty.
All over the place.
That's nasty.
All right?
And this was brought to you again by Easy Moving and Storage, Fairfield, Connecticut. Moving's hard enough. Do it the easy way. Also, removal in New York. Mike, you have a good week, and I will talk to you next time.
Yep. See you next time, guys.